Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. Really feels like a manic Monday as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. So, after the Pittsburgh Steeler game yesterday, with their season opening loss to the Seattle Seahawks 31-17, the home opener at Acrisure Stadium, a packed house, a beautiful day, and the Pittsburgh Steelers come out and they do the same thing over and over and over again to lose the football game. And you have to start to ask yourself, what changes are going to happen for the Pittsburgh Steelers going forward? And if you look at Coach Tomlin's history, that will indicate nothing is going to change at all. And it's just really bringing me down right now. It's just really taking its toll on me mentally, thinking, now I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm completely wrong. I hope that I have to make a video in another day or two or after next week's game, and it's like, man, all these new blitzes from the defense, these exotic blitzes, and this was different and that was different. I hope that I'm wrong. But most likely, percentage-wise, based over the years, what we have seen, if I had to bet my money, I'm probably not going to be wrong. And this isn't even a knock on the players. This isn't a knock on Aaron Rodgers or Jalen Warren or the defense. This is just, I don't even think it's a knock on Coach Tomlin, because Coach Tomlin has already told us who he is. Like he's told for years. It's nothing new. Should we be surprised? Should we be surprised? No, we shouldn't. Did I expect better results this year because I thought we had better players? Absolutely. And I still believe that to a degree. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers are 1-1 right now, but there's just this like boulder on my shoulder weighing me down, thinking to myself, here we go again. And it's really got me depressed because it's only week 2. I thought for sure yesterday that the Pittsburgh Steelers would come out firing on all cylinders. In the summertime, you heard Beanie Bishop. Beanie Bishop, he liked to talk a lot for a guy that really wasn't established. And Beanie, he was saying things like, oh, you're going to see, we're working on some new schemes and new blitzes, and we're working on this, and you're going to see some different wrinkles. I haven't seen any of that. I've seen TJ Watt come off the field more for a breather than he usually does. I see him lined up in the same place. I see the same players pretty much doing the same thing. I saw Peyton Wilson blitz a little more, so I can't say that I didn't see that, but that might be his assignment. I can't say necessarily it was definitely a blitz, because the guy that he's covering might have stayed in to block, so then he automatically blitzes. So that's kind of different. That's a different pressure, different look. I'm talking about a blitz with risk. Where you say, F it, if we lose, we're gonna lose being aggressive by blitzing. And I don't know if Peyton Wilson, when he blitzes, if that's the type of blitz, the reason why he's doing it. I have to have my computer wizard come over and fix my computer so I can go live and get on my all 22 film. I'm not doing good right now as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, a YouTuber. I'm not. I hate to get off topic, but I'm really not good. Like if you ask me, tell me the truth. What's your education when it comes to using a computer? I'm like a first grader, a kindergartner, the kid that's got to fix everything. He's like 17, and as I'm handing him $100, he laughs in my face and be like, you really can't be that dumb. And yeah, when it comes to computer stuff, I am that dumb. So I haven't been able to really look at the film yet, but that's a whole different video. But man, it's just depressing. It's a manic Monday as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. Jalen Warren and Aaron Rodgers were the entire offense. I know some beat reporters after the game asked Coach Tomlin, they felt like that Aaron Rodgers held on to the ball too long. I didn't really see it that way. I saw he was holding on to the ball too long because the receivers couldn't get open. I thought the offensive line did a better job protecting Aaron Rodgers this week. In the passing game, he had time. Aaron Rodgers had time to throw that football, and he just didn't have nobody to throw it to. I'm going to stick to that. Again, I got to look at the all 22 film. But, man, it just seems like the same old, same old. What's that saying you hear everybody say? If nothing changes, man. It starts with you. You got to be the one to make the changes. Oh, it's just depressing. It really is. You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers have spent a lot of draft picks on offensive linemen, especially first-round picks, and we are not getting results for our investment. We're just not. I mean, this rushing game of the Pittsburgh Steelers is abysmal. And I still look at, I've been saying this all along before anybody said this. I've been saying it since the summertime, since the season. I've been saying it since last season. You can't be Barry Sanders unless you get the opportunities to be Barry Sanders. And I don't want to hear that Jaylen Warren is too small. He's short, but he's not small. He's super explosive. Why is Jaylen Warren not touching the football 20 to 25 times a game? He never does. He never does. He never. He just doesn't. Kenneth Gainwell, the 5 carries for 20 yards. I mean, it's a decent average, 4 yards a carry. But does he really need to touch Jaylen Warren's carries? What else did I say? I said that just letting Najee Harris go in free agency is a mistake. 4 years, all 4 years he had 1,000 yards. All 4 years he was close to 5 yards a carry. And a lot of fans and insiders and so-called football people, they just feel like production in the NFL, oh, it's a given. We could bring in any running back and anybody could get 1,000 yards. Anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. 1,000 yards is no big deal. It's 88 yards a game. No big deal. We could just replace that 1, 2, 3. Well, so far in week 2, I mean, I'm not putting that on Jaylen Warren because, again, he's not getting the opportunities. But Coach Tomlin always seemed to give Najee the opportunities. 20 carries, 22, 23. I don't want to hear about size. I don't want to hear it. I just don't. You sound dumb. You know, Jaylen Warren is one of the most physical players probably on the entire team. And he can take getting hit. And we're not in the preservation business at all. If he gets hurt, oh, well, you decide to play football. So, you know, what Caleb Johnson did yesterday, is that the special teams coach's fault? No, that's Caleb Johnson mentally checking out. Pat Freiermuth hasn't played good football in a very long time. He's getting paid a lot of money. Pat Freiermuth's getting paid a lot of money. I don't care if he's a good guy and he went to Penn State and he's, you know, grew up around the corner. That's totally irrelevant. Hey, I'm glad he's a good guy. And I'm glad all that. I like, as a person, yeah, I like him. But we're not talking about that. He's not playing good football at all. It's like it's almost like the intensity's not there. It's just not there. I got to see what TJ Watt and Cam Hayward are doing on the film. I'm not going to criticize any of the defensive line or the linebackers till I see play-by-play broken down on the all-22 film to see what's going wrong, to see who didn't get in their gap, to see who missed this assignment, to see who got steamrolled off the defensive line. I've been saying this for a while. I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers in general need to get stronger in the weight room. I don't know what's going on there, but it just seems like we're always getting manhandled. Like other teams are just physically dominated. They're just stronger than us. Now, I don't know if that's because of the angles that we're taking in the scheme, if it's just physical strength, but I would love to know what's going on in the Pittsburgh Steelers weight room. You know, and the injury thing will come up with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but you can't, this is football, you know, and the injury thing, like, yeah, the injury thing has nothing to do with giving up 8 yards a carry to Kenneth Walker was averaging 8 yards a carry versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. 13 carries, 105 yards, touchdown. That's 8 yards a carry. So I don't want to hear about injuries because the run game, stopping the run, it's a mentality. It's all 11 guys are going to get to the football. When we get there, we're going to get there in a bad mood. We're going to punish you. It's about stopping the run is about imposing your will. And we are not imposing our will on anybody right now. I think this week's game going into the New England Patriots is probably the biggest game of the entire year. You know, this is where the dam could literally break. 299 rushing yards in the Baltimore Ravens game the Steelers gave up. Last week versus the Jets, it was like 185. Yesterday against the Seattle Seahawks, it was 117 yards in total. It's like if the New England Patriots come out and they run that rock for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, it's almost like I feel like the season's over in week 3. And I hate saying that, but I just feel like that battle, that tenacity where the Steelers are just going to fight you tooth and nail every single play to get a yard. We're not just giving up a yard. We're giving up chunks of yardage. It's as bad as Pop Warner games. It's literally like when you go watch a Pop Warner game and the kids are just running wild because nobody really wants to tackle. That's what it looks like. The Pittsburgh Steelers are giving up 200 yards a game in rushing. 200 yards a game. Just about 200 yards a game. You get the point. It's close. It's close. And if we can't stop the run and if we can't run the ball, we're in serious trouble the entire year. Aaron Rodgers could be Aaron Rodgers from, the year 2000. But if we can't do those other 2 things, we are screwed the entire year. And from what we all know of Coach Tomlin, his ability to change things or his ability to mix it up or what's ever going to happen. If you look at the track record, what does the track record tell you? And what if it is all the players? What if our players just suck? What if I just overestimated all of our players? Then what? Then what are we talking about? But I don't know. I just can't believe that all our players just got that bad. Remember, this is the same Pittsburgh Steelers team that had the Baltimore Ravens number. They were beating the Ravens all the time. And then they lose on a short week to the Cleveland Browns. They go on Christmas. They lose to the Chiefs. And then the snowball effect of the Baltimore Ravens just kicking the living you-know-what out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now it's like Muhammad Ali versus, a no-name boxer. That's what it feels like at this point. Like we are in deep trouble. The Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry's the firepower compared to what the Pittsburgh Steelers have played. And you'd be like, well, why do you keep talking about the Ravens? There's other games going on. Well, if you want to win a playoff game, it's a good idea to win the division. So I don't even want to hear about a playoff game. I want to talk about winning the division and who are we going to fight it out with to win the division for the most part. I'm going to put the Ravens in front of the Bengals, obviously, and I'm just hoping and praying that the Steelers are better than the Bengals, but that could be even pushing it at this point. I'm at a loss for words. I'm going to look at this all 22 film and go from there. I'm praying when I look at the film, it's not as bad as I think it's going to be. Because remember, at certain points in this game yesterday, the Pittsburgh Steelers were winning the game. The interception in the end zone, obviously the kickoff, really just turned things around for the worst. So hopefully, I want to be wrong. When's the last time you heard a YouTuber or reporter say, I want to be wrong? I want to be 1,000% wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that after I watch the all 22 film or next week, everybody's in the comment section calling me a complete effing idiot. I really hope that I'm wrong. You know why? Because I love the Pittsburgh Steelers and I love the black and gold and I want to see the team win the Super Bowl. So I really do hope that I'm wrong. I hope everybody has a good day because I'm not having a good day right now. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.